while I'm eating. Great.
That's pre-show. Nobody gives a shit. And if they do, fuck them. Fuck them if they can't take a joke, right? I was going to tell you something that I watched the other day. Oh, last night we watched The Gray Man.
Oh.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
It's Ryan Gosling and Chris Hemsworth, or not Chris Hemsworth, Captain America.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I literally just
What the hell?
That last name just shot right out my head. Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Chris.
Is anyone in chat? Help us out.
Chris.
I was gonna say Chris Pine, but I know it's not Chris Pine.
Nope, not Chris Pine. Chris.
We have the internet right here.
Chris. Well. Yeah, I mean, we do.
Chris Evans.
There we go. Chris Evans.
Jesus.
What's wrong with you?
No shit.
Yeah, Chris Evans. So he's in it. Billy Bob Thornton's in it. Yeah, it's good. It's a good action movie. And there's some decent funny parts in it. Chat. Oh, that's really hot.
Mm-hmm.
Chat. How's that?
Still hotter than it was, but
yeah, I'm messing with my. Okay, so I'll turn that down. I'm messing with my gain.
Yeah. Oh no, you're good. Right there.
Right here.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
There's a point where you stopped crackling, and I think it was right about there.
Yeah, I always seem to be. Oh, thanks, Genius. It always seems to be quiet, and not necessarily on stream, but when I edit the audio.
Did you put up last week's podcast?
What?
Did you put up last week's podcast?
Yeah.
Why don't I have it?
I have it.
See, all episodes. Oh, last episode I have is The Ultimate Stranger from July 18th. Episode 98. It's been actually quite a while since I've had an episode, apparently.
Well, that's not good.
That's on iTunes as well. So
that's on iTunes as well, like that?
That's iTunes. I use the Apple Podcast app now.
Oh, that's really not good.
Mm-hmm. Have to investigate.
Well, shit. Yeah, I mean, I have it. It came through on mine. So that's weird that it wouldn't show through. That doesn't make me happy.
Searching for right now to see. Yeah, no, it doesn't have. Yeah. Doesn't have anything after July 18th.
Make you happy.
That's a big bummer.
Yeah.
What was I gonna look?
Oh, Cooch. Nice shirt.
Yeah, dog.
What's up, gentlemen?
I got mine in the mail the other day. My shirt and socks.
Socks.
Yes.
Socks.
They actually seem very comfortable. I got the Free Doom one, the one that's all black and it's got the giant D in the blue circle.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it says Doom on front, and in the back it says Free Doom.
Awesome.
Where are you at,
Yeah, we got a
Kupta?
couple shirts. Iowa.
Iowa.
Visiting my wife's mother.
Oh, I was gonna say visiting Slipknot.
Oh. Actually, I could probably get my wife to visit or to go to a Slipknot concert before anything else. In
Shut
this
up.
moment, I tried to get her to go to.
Really?
Oh, she hates it. She hates metal so much.
And she would go to Slipknot before anything else?
It's Iowa. It's homebrew.
Yeah, but Slipknot's
Gotta.
harder than hard. Like she would have a
Oh,
better
yeah.
chance of going. Like she would enjoy Ghost more than freaking Slipknot.
We wouldn't be in the pit, I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, that's fine. You don't have to be in the pit.
Well, I mean,
I mean, we do,
you know,
but she doesn't.
you don't want to get trampled on.
Yeah, you're not getting trampled on, I don't think, at a Ghost concert. Although the opening bands are going to be pretty thrashy, so
Can't wait. Be a good time.
3 weeks.
Genius on?
No, 4 weeks. He was in chat.
Oh.
So I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Getting a handy quick.
Whoa.
I mean, maybe.
Rock and roll.
That would be rock and roll. Good on him.
Yeah, if we can't figure out what to do with the ticket, I've got several ideas. So we'll figure it out. It will not go unused.
Well, I told John if we can't find anybody to have it, and my brother just gives it away, then it's his.
You got it. Best idea I heard yet.
I've already moved my D&D session just in case.
Did you really?
'Cause I was talking to everyone. I'm like, hey, there's a possibility this might happen. Do we just want to move it right now to Saturday just in case it does? If it doesn't, fuck all. We don't care.
Lock
Well,
it
yeah,
in
sure.
then.
So-
Lock it in. Move on with life. Lock it in.
Yeah, I would agree. Lock that shit. Yeah, because that would be fun.
So episode 100.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It'll be the episode I finally kill y'all.
Oh,
We've been
fantastic.
trying. Or we've been trying to kill ourselves.
Somehow, death is involved.
I would say we've been relatively successful in getting killed.
Well, you have at least.
Well, yes.
Constantly unconscious. At some point, there's going to be a little bit of post-traumatic stress on your brain because of all these AOs we're experiencing. Disadvantage on your dexterity checks because you can't get the shakes to go away.
Yeah, right. I have the DTs apparently. There must be something with Apple then, John, because I'm showing in Blueberry I'm getting downloads and stats, so it's out there.
Genius is upside down and crossways.
He's in the sideways, not the upside down. Oh, I need to get coffee.
Morning, Genius.
Good morning.
What's the happy hap?
And was Ryan singing again this morning about how much he loves D&D? Wow, I watched the last show. That was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yummy,
That's
yummy,
good.
yummy.
I do love getting together on a Sunday morning. Right here in Iowa, it's been raining like 24 hours.
It's almost here.
So it'll be bright
Rained
and sunny
yesterday.
online here. I'll have to do a show. I'm getting my patio redone because my deck was falling apart. So I'll have to do a show outside for my patio when it's done.
That'd be fun. In the middle of
Put
winter.
put enough work into it, so So anybody do anything fun over the last week besides accumulate school supplies or anything?
I did a Geo game from Clued Up Games in Appleton yesterday, based on Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, you know what? They were selling that to me, and I thought, man, that's cool. But like I said, we were going to be in Iowa for sure,
Yeah.
so I
Fun.
completely dismissed it. How was that?
Fun. We did one last year too in Green Bay. That was a like murder mystery one. They're
Awesome.
neat. Yeah, and you get people walking around in costume with their phone. It's basically like doing a giant geocache game. And so
Yeah.
you're going from place to place to place and finding clues in one place to, like, you had to figure out Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They had the two twins on the map, but you had to figure out which one is which because they wouldn't tell you. Then you find out
Oh.
later from a different piece of paper that, oh, Tweedledum is allergic to pepper. So then you got to go to the cook and you get the pepper from the cook. Once you have the pepper from the cook, you can figure out which one's Tweedledee and which one's Tweedledum. Then you go find the knight and you got to get his 3 pieces of armor. So you go to 3 different locations to get his armor. You don't need to backtrack ever. Once you've unlocked a
Yeah.
site, you can click on it to interact with it. So once you found the 3 pieces of armor, you just click on him and give him his armor. Then he'll give you something in return. And the whole thing was to try and find Alice before the queen beheaded her. And there's riddles in there, and sometimes you got to look at the environment and see what's around.
But you actually have to move your body from one location to the next?
Yeah, you have to be within
That's
200
crazy.
meters of a start point to hit go, otherwise you take a time penalty. We finished 9th out of, there were over 100 teams. Which was
I
better
knew
than
it
we
would be
did last year.
popular.
Oh
I
yeah,
knew it
and
would be popular because the advertising was really eye-catching. It was really seemed well done. So
yeah, and everyone dressing up in costume. Like, there were 2 people up in the parking ramp, just people watching. I'm like, oh my god, that I could totally just do that, knowing the game was going on. The amount of costumes and whatnot for it were incredible.
What is this called, or what is this?
The geocache scavenger hunt I did yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know there was a thing going on.
It was down in Appleton.
Cool.
Actually, it's happening in Green Bay in October. The Alice in Wonderland one is happening in Green Bay, downtown Green Bay in October.
I don't keep up with geocaching. I don't, honestly, I've never done a geocache.
I've never done a geocache either. I've done these adventure things twice now.
And was it full of
Sounds
adventure?
fun.
It was fun. It was like a cross between going and doing a geocache and a breakout room.
So do they, if they're using the same module, do they change it up so that those who've done it before don't have an advantage, or how do they?
You really can't. I mean, the
Like
only
whole-
advantage,
Like
the
the
only
pepper
advantage you get, well, when you start, you don't know where everything is. So you do need to move 2 locations. And when we finished, we were number 3, but by the end of the day, we had dropped to 9. But we had a 5-minute penalty that would put us in 6th place if we hadn't had the penalty too. So,
Ooh, how do you get penalized?
Popping tires and punching nuts.
well, you can answer riddles wrong. You can interact with things that you're not near. Like, you can be walking away from something while you're trying to interact with it, and you get outside a certain
Got it.
range, it'll apply a penalty because you're moving.
That's
So this
It's
is
like, no,
mostly a
you gotta
walking
stand
thing,
there and
or-
talk to the white rabbit.
Is this a walking thing or is it
Yeah.
a driving thing or?
No, just it's all walking. Put on about 5,000 steps probably through the course of it. Hour and 18 minutes, I think our time was.
Nice.
So, yeah. Top
Sounds
time
amazing.
was like an hour and 8 minutes. Yeah, for the team of 6, and it was I think it was $40 with all the discounts for the team of 6. So it's like super reasonable. Packed cooler up and drove down and it was fun.
Tailgate.
It started by the bus depot in downtown.
Awesome.
At one point, we were walking past the farmers market and everything. So I mean, it was super cool.
Did you dress up?
No, we didn't this year. Last year was a detective themed one, like a murder mystery one, and we all had shirts that said "Pretend I'm a detective" on them. Julie made a shirt that said "We're all mad down here" and had the Cheshire Cat's head on it. And I saw a couple of those shirts around, but there was one lady had full on like card, like she was the Red Queen, the Queen of Hearts with all the cards on her,
Oh my
like and unbelievable.
That
There's a full on
seems
White
awesome.
Rabbit with his big old pocket watch and everything. It was crazy.
I was gonna say, did you
It's
run
fun.
into Johnny Depp?
Several lookalikes, yeah. Not really. Everyone had Mad Hatter hats was probably the most common thing I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was super cool, and it was a fun theme. It was a very, very fun
Yeah.
theme.
Picture John walking around as the caterpillar with the hookah.
I wanted to do that. We were talking about that on the way down. It's like costumes would have been great. I'm like, I should have been the caterpillar.
Ooh. Odd.
That is
You.
the one character that actually wasn't in the game was the caterpillar, which was really strange. Yeah, the Jabberwock wasn't in it, but Tweedledee, Tweedledum, the Red Knight, the White Rabbit, the March Hare, the Mad Hatter, like you interacted with all of them. Cook, it was fun. Good times.
Awesome.
All right, what do you think?
Everybody got your coffee?
Everybody got coffee? Everybody poop?
I did not poop. I'm gonna warm up my coffee. I'll be right back.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna warm up.
Good
warm
luck,
up to
pal.
poop.
I'm gonna go do some deep squats. Get my
Welcome
bowels
to the
warmed up.
day. Here we go.
Deep knee
I'm gonna
lunges.
drop a deuce on this party.
Oh boy.
He has one of those
Uh,
old person chairs with the toilet underneath. That's his
That's
gaming
what
chair.
everybody.
mm,
That's what everybody came to see here.
Yep. It's a pants off party, episode 100.
it's gonna be one of those kind of shows.
It's gonna
New
be
genre.
it's gonna be lit, as the kids say.
The kids do say that.
Hello, fellow kids. Oh shit!
Run, Forrest, run.
All right, I'm switching this over.
Nice.
I feel like that's an excuse.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this extra super special, wonderful 100th episode of Two Nerds, One Quest. I am your host and DM, JC Dittmer, here with these three nerds because math is hard, and oh my god, we made it back-to-back weeks, Tom Norman. How's it going, buddy?
No, I'm thrilled. I haven't been this excited since we started episode 1.
Oh, yeah, and from the sounds of things, we may be back-to-back-to-back. Like, next week might happen? Yeah?
Nope,
No? Oh,
I'm in Madison.
I got my
I'm
hopes.
gone.
Oh, maybe I'll have to do something with these. We'll find Snooker and Jan something to do. See if I can figure that
Into
out.
it.
That man right there wearing the ghost shirt, getting amped for the concert in GB, Wisconsin, is one Ryan Crixus-Kukta. Although he's about as far away from
Oopsie.
GB as you could get in a single day right now by a car.
On an Iowa road Trey, I wouldn't want to go any farther than this. The weather is not ideal, but I'll tell you, cozy up with us this morning. Let's do some D&D.
That sounds good. And that last man there adjusting his camera, sitting in the Lazy Dragon, is the Lazy Dragon. One Jeff Jacob Williams. How you doing this morning, bud?
Good. Having a wonderful morning. It was funny because this morning I got up and I thought, oh man, I'm so far ahead. I've got plenty of time. And then I remembered we started 8:30, not 9. So I was like, oh.
Yeah.
What happens when you don't do this for a while?
Yep.
Inch it off. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I got the bus schedule for my kids this year. They're gonna be upset. They gotta be to the bus stop 25 minutes earlier than they did last year.
That sounds like fun.
Welcome to the party.
On the plus side, they get home 25 minutes earlier, so they may be happier about that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They don't know yet. They'll find out tonight.
Surprise!
Surprise! Guess what? I got the bus letter. Oh. All right. Well, let's hop into things. Jeff, you got some sort of recap for us? Maybe a limerick?
Yeah. Last episode we started off rolling initiative. Jacob had to bring back Doug first and then start the ritual. Doug was kind of stalling the bad guy before he could start it. And I think the most important thing we learned last week was that Doug used to poop on people. Let's see. Crixus' life hangs in the balance as he's making death saving throws for a number of turns. Finally, Jacob finishes his ritual, cures Crixus, who barely made it, and then as soon as he wakes up, he runs away and chases after Veleen. So not much help in the fight. Doug finishes the ritual and tries to come through, but the professor's a little bit difficult. Tika then grapples the skull that we've been fighting and keeps him busy while Doug and Jacob together can save Professor Scant in a small moment of comedy there. While this is all happening, the city begins to shake and seemingly break free, and ice falling from the ceiling. And then everyone's kind of chasing into the building. Doug flies in. Crixus makes it all the way through what we find is a giant ballroom full of people partying. Crixus makes it through. Doug's halfway flying through. Jacob's at the door when pretty much everyone falls prone, and except for Doug, who's flying. And Jacob sees what he's may or may not understand is the Ice Queen blasting that skull with ice before the episode ends last week. So that's where we are, and a little less specific limerick this week than usual. So we showed that we all have the guts. The dice rolls on both sides were nuts. We passed this test, but there's no time to rest. As JC said, hold on to your butts.
Did say that.
You
I
did.
did say that. I did say that.
He said it.
That-
I did it.
What movie is that? Someone says, hold on. Is that? Oh, that's
Jurassic
Park. Yeah, that's right.
Yep, Samuel L. Jackson.
Thank you. God bless America. I cannot remember a flipping name this morning. Me and Norm this morning couldn't come up with Chris Evans. That's Captain America. I'm like, Chris Pine?
We
It
literally.
might also be in the Lego movie, right?
Chris Evans?
No, hold on to your butts.
Oh,
Recycled in the Lego movie.
possible.
If you ask my
Alright.
kids, they'd remember it.
I have not seen the Lego movie in a while, but that movie is fantastic. Or
Where's the
awesome.
Everything about it.
It is awesome.
So a couple questions.
Yes.
Based on the discussions that they've had, would Jacob have recognized that individual was Oral?
I would say no. I'm going
You
with
are-
Doug doesn't recognize it.
They definitely would have talked about it, but I don't know that they would have gone into a description of what she looked like.
But also, they
Doug?
exist in the world, right?
Doug?
And
Doug would know. Doug would know what she looks like, just based on the stories about her. Jacob, you have no fucking clue. You're from Eberron.
Okay.
I suppose if I'm traveling, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know
I
if
mean,
traveling
there's
with them, if they would have.
growing up in the world, you would have heard about her. It's like hearing about Jesus or Buddha, or like it's one of those things. It's
Yeah, I was
bigger on that level of
thinking campfire trails on the road if they would have, or campfire
yeah,
story. They would have
or the
talked about.
Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster, or anything like that. That is just common knowledge to all of us, and like here on Earth, it'd be like that for you. Well, everyone but you. You have a whole different set of.
hmm
Like, you have Lady Elmaro and Lazar and a bunch of other people from your worlds that you would know who
Which
they
if
were and what they were.
if we go there, I'll have to study up. Me personally, not Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay, and then are we still initiativing to keep the action, or where are we? So everybody's kind of.
The combat with the Demi-Lich is over.
hmm
You like he shattered in the sky, and you see this crystalline, feminine, sharp-edged creature step out from around a building. What would you like to do?
I would like to stand up first,
Stand up.
and then probably let's see. If I'm using this as a turn, I would bonus action command Tika to try to go through the barrier, which don't have high hopes for.
Yeah, TK hits the barrier real hard.
Okay.
Like, she tries. I mean, she takes off full dead sprint. Have you seen a cat hit a glass pane window that's been freshly cleaned, or a bird? Yeah, it's kind of like that.
All
There's-
right. And I'm just gonna, I think, go in to keep up with my friends.
Okay, so you push in. She walks slowly towards the barrier.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave that behind since I'm not. If I don't know who she is, I'm not going to be all that concerned about it.
Okay.
Are we still in
Initiative? No.
initiative? Okay, we're out.
The combat with that enemy is over. I just
Yeah.
asked. I mean,
Well,
Jacob's
yeah.
the one
Well-
she can see. She doesn't recognize Jacob either. So
Yeah.
like she's walking. She's looking for people. She may not even pursue you guys
Yeah, and if you're
Because she
looking at them, oops, go ahead.
because she doesn't know who she just saw. She just knows, hey, they're on the inside of this barrier. Okay, cool.
So roughly speaking, if you've got the map up, I think Ryan is nearing Y19J. Doug is probably somewhere around Y19B, somewhere in the middle
Yeah,
there.
right in the middle
And
on those steps.
Jacob just came in by A.
Yep.
So if people are looking at the map. All
Yep,
right, that's
absolutely.
what I
So
want
you
to
come into that room. You come into that ballroom, and people are dancing. Look at me, I'm dancing. But it's not like that. It's like all like waltzy ballroom gallery type stuff. What would you like to do? You do feel the whole of the city. Like, there's still like sounds of rock and ice falling. Every once in a while you hear just like a tremendous like as something hits the barrier outside of this tower.
Yeah, I would be just trying to catch up with the other two. So.
But you see Doug. You walk up through there into the ballroom. You see Doug. Doug's in the middle of this ballroom.
Would
You guys both see Crixus
Okay.
far down a hall.
that was
ahead
my
of you.
next question: is do I actually see Crixus, or is he? Because I know he kind of knelt down by the stairs up there.
Crixus,
Yeah, I
what
think
were you
Crixus is
doing?
at the tower.
I am trying to get within eyesight of Veleen, so I'm continuing to move forward through the crowd and up it. I believe there's a staircase. Is that accurate
It's a
to say?
tunnel here. That dark area, white 19I. It's like a tunnel. Actually, it's a 7-foot tall. Oh, wait a minute. No, sorry, that's not a tunnel. That's a bridge over a chasm.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
That's what that
cool.
is.
That's a little different.
So
Yeah.
So I am not moving at top speed. I am ambling slowly across the bridge concerned about falling to my death. So, cursing the whole way.
I'm actually gonna stop you there. Forgot about this. You come running to the edge, you stop, and it's a chasm in front of you. You don't see a bridge. It's just a chasm in front of you. Make a perception check, though.
All right.
This will probably be...
It is only 12?
Well, that's plenty. As you come to a stop, there's some, like, glitter or, like confetti on the floor from the ball, and it kind of poofs out as you stop out onto this invisible surface and sits there.
Yikes.
It's Indiana Jones.
And it kind of gives away like Indiana Jones when he tosses the dirt out onto the invisible bridge in the Last Crusade. Yeah.
Yep.
That bridge is there.
So I'd be slowly picking my way across the bridge, like
Picking my
one
way.
step at a time, making sure my foot has something underneath it at each
You move
step.
about half speed across the bridge, giving both Jacob and Doug time to catch up with you.
Makes sense. All the while I'm yelling out for Veleen. Say, let's talk about this. Don't do anything rash.
You walk into Jacob and Doug catch up to you, and the three of you together walk into Y19J.
I'm flying.
Or flying, okay. Your reflections dance over the mirrored surfaces in this chamber. There are 11 alcoves that extend from the walls like points of a star, each one narrowing to a niche where a gently glowing crystal is mounted 5 feet above the floor. The air in here, even more so as you step into this room, kind of hums with this pent-up power. Suddenly, it elevates even higher. It's on a different frequency level than the whole like city that you hear, and these crystals energize, and the light reflects off of these mirrors, all eventually creating this hologram, this lit hologram, like laser light lit hologram in that circle before you. And a translucent bald man in a long purple gown stands before you, and his smile, his face just kind of, it's very serious, breaks into a smile. Hello there. Can I help you?
We're looking for a woman that came running through here. Who?
The mage that went by terribly quickly.
Yeah.
She went up. Would you like to follow her?
Very much so.
Ah, all right. Stop her, please. What she's attempting to do may ruin the city.
What is she trying to do?
It seems she is trying to return the city to the sky. I don't know that the city itself would handle that so well. Please stop her. Good day. And he steps backwards, and it almost looks like he steps into, like Homer Simpson stepping into the bushes. But as he leaves, there's kind of an archway illusion that is left in front of you for you to step through.
All right, I'm gonna kind of stop my hovering and walk through.
All right.
Crixus just turns around, just takes a last look, kind of letting Jacob go through if he wants to first.
You hear another as something hits the barrier outside.
Side note: Did Crixus actually see Oral as well?
No.
No.
Crixus wouldn't have.
He was way inside.
He
Okay.
was way deep inside.
And I don't know. I don't think you did either,
He was hitting bottom.
Doug. I think Doug was inside before
Yeah.
that happened too.
Oh, that's right, because she was out and you were the only one. Because if she,
Yeah.
because if you were the only one, she was gonna see. She was gonna be the only one you could see. Okay.
I'm gonna as we walk through the door, I'm gonna cast detect magic, just to have it.
Okay.
Up.
The door lights up like a motherfucker when you. This is a magical portal. Up to the next
Yeah.
level. So it gets very bright as you step through this.
Yeah, figured that would happen.
All
I'll
right.
step.
You step through. Crixus.
Yeah, Crixus will take a look back, make sure nobody's following us across the bridge, and then I'll walk through as well.
All right. You come out in another ovular room, Y19K. This room is a giant hall glittering with frost. There are carvings that decorate the walls, and long icicles are hanging from the ceiling. There's a 10-foot radius dome of translucent ice that encloses the area from which you emerged. There is a door like etched into that dome of ice that you could walk through to get out into the main area. Standing before you are in the like hovering by the doorway are two blade shaped patches of darkness. Like they almost seem to eat the light around them, hovering in the air. One to each side of the double door that waits before you. That's not closed, but kind of hanging open.
Well,
Above the
that's
doorway, there's a glowing green crystal that is like roughly, it's about the size of a human hand. A fist just embedded in the wall. Like it was meant to be there. Like it wasn't thrown there by force or anything. It was built into the wall there. But it's glowing as well.
One thing I forgot to bring up. You guys have enough hit points for whatever it is we're heading into, or?
I most certainly do not. I was gonna say while we have time here, John, while there's a little bit of downtime, not I don't want to say downtime, but while we're walking,
Yeah.
I would do my
Oh, you're walking again? I need everyone to make a dexterity check.
yeah, because I walked
As
through
something
the portal.
hits the outside of the barrier.
Do you have like a lay on hands or something?
Yep, I was gonna use my entire pool of lay on hands.
This is dexterity check or save?
Save,
And-
sorry.
You're all within 10 feet of me, so plus 4.
13.
10.
Man, it won't stop. Plus 4, 22.
Nice. Jacob, you're fine. You maintain your feet. Doug, you stumble a bit, and I assume you use your reaction to flap your wings and just kind of pick yourself upright so you don't fall instinctually.
I would.
Jacob, or Crixus, you do stumble into Jacob. He puts a steadying hand on you to hold you there.
Very nice.
And I am trying to figure out what I did not prep this. I missed this one. So, oops.
All right.
So yeah, you're gonna cast your lay on hands. You
Or
said
something.
dumping all your points in. Norm.
Doug? Doug,
yes.
you have...
Yep. I'm sorry, I was looking at something else.
I'm completely full, so I don't need anything.
Yeah, I used. I gave myself 45. I used literally all my entire pool.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. Then I'm going to need to cure my own wounds. Is that true?
Sounds like it.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at 10 hit points. I was no
I'm going to
bueno.
do that. I'll do a third level. Cure wounds.
At the casting of the magic, both those shapes that are hovering in the sky spin and point towards you threateningly.
All right. Are they? See, detect magic is 30 feet. Are they within 30 feet of us?
Oh yeah, and yes, they are magic.
So they're giving off some kind of a. Okay, and is the crystal magic?
The crystal. Uh,
Seems like it would be like a.
yeah. Um. Yeah. The crystal is magic, and not only is the crystal magic, but it is it's giving off an aura around the door in front of you, like a barrier is set up on that door.
All right. Well, I summoned Tika once already today, so I have to use a leveled spell to bring her back. I think unless you want to sacrifice your ferret or whatever it is, I'm going to.
Don't you touch my friend.
Your rat.
All right.
Spirit
I'll
thing.
use a first level spell to summon Tika, and I will have her be lightning.
Lightning. Okay.
Yeah. And then I will have her walk slowly towards the door and see what happens.
When it gets within 5 feet of one of these blades, because it will have to get in 5 feet of one of them to go to the door, the blade swings at her. Say 11 hit her.
No.
All right, and we need to roll initiative then.
Shit.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
That's funny. I rolled double 19s.
feel a little bad for you guys.
You
I feel really bad for you guys.
That's not great.
Because you all rolled like 20, 19, and 22 is phenomenal initiatives. They rolled a 23.
Dick.
Everybody got up early.
It's random. So it is the blades, Jacob, Crixus, then Doug.
I mean, they've been trained to watch for us, it sounds like, so they were ready.
Yep. So the blade is going to swing a second time at Tika. That one is a 9.
Miss.
And then the other blade is going to swing at her as well. Move up towards her and swing at her, which is a 23.
That'll hit.
That'll hit. All right. Actually, what was the die roll? Where's my log? The die roll was a 17. Okay, good. All right. Then it takes. Tika takes 16 points of force damage.
All right.
The one on the right. That was that was B. So Jacob, they both swung at Tika.
And these are. Do they look like they're actual swords or like they're.
They look like they're a shadow. Like it's a void in the shape of a sword.
It's not
Doesn't
metal.
look like metal. No, it's.
All right. Let's see. Action. I will. Trying to see how they react. I will attempt a chill touch and just see what happens.
Chill touch. Okay.
Which is neither cold nor a melee spell. Oh, it's not. Oh, maybe. Nope. 10. I'm assuming
10
misses.
hit, 10 misses.
Okay. And then I will use my bonus action to command Tika to make an attack on the one.
Left or right?
The one that hit her.
Okay, that's B. B is the right hand one, A is the left hand one.
Well, that's better than mine. 21 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay, does lightning damage make a difference?
Lightning damage does not make a difference.
Okay, then it's a total of 12 damage
12
from the bite.
damages. All right, 12 damages from lightning.
And I'm just going to maintain I'm actually gonna step back and let the melee fighters get involved.
All right. That moves us to
That's it for me and Tika.
Crixus. You see Jacob kind of hold up his hand and like nothing happens, and then he kind of curses and shakes his hand a little bit and commands Tika to go attack, and Tika goes in and attacks the one on the right.
So, Crixus will then also get in kind of next to our little dragonling friend, and so I'm going to attack with my hand axe.
Okay. Are you putting yourself in
the-
between the two of them, or are you going around to the other side of Tika?
I'm gonna go around to the other side, basically, almost.
Okay.
In
On the outside
middle.
of. You want to be
Yeah.
in between the two swords, or do you want to be on the
I actually
outside?
do want to be in between the two
Okay.
swords.
All right,
That's
cool. So
my
you move in
intent.
right next to the door. Make a perception check for me, as you guys hear something else hit the structure outside.
I'm on
FYI,
15.
between two swords is a terrible porn title.
Would make a great show title though.
Mm-hmm.
As you step in between the two swords, the green crystal on the door flickers. And in that moment, you notice something flicker on the doorway too, like the barrier flickers with the impact of whatever hit it, like it was almost shorting out. Okay, so you step into place there between the two swords. You got your hand axe out. You want to do what?
I am just going to attack at the right side, the one that has already taken some damage.
All right. Final Fantasy rules.
16 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And 9 damage.
9 damage. This is a magical weapon, correct?
It is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure. All right. 9 damage.
And then I'm going to just yell out, we don't have time for this, SHIT. And then my turn's over.
You wouldn't actually
All
say
right.
shit? Or is
Yeah,
that
I mean,
like-
I would
is,
say.
Is that a Crixus
He would.
thing?
He's at his in-laws' house. Though.
Oh, that's right.
He's being proper.
We don't have time for this shit.
We don't have
Like
time
that.
for spelling out words.
We don't have time for spelling out words. Come on.
Oh,
Doug.
that's hilarious. Yeah. Nope, I got it. All right, so it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right, and
Yes,
this
it is.
this is a dumb question because I might have missed it. Where on the map are these two swords? Is it the northern part where we're trying to get up to
Southern part.
Y19K? Southern part.
No, southern part of Y19K, you see that double door?
Yep.
That's the door that Crixus is standing in front of right now. There's a sword on each side of him.
Okay, yeah, that's this. Okay, that's the spot I was thinking.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right,
Yep.
I just wanted to be sure. I will get up next to. So Crixus is between the two swords, and Tika is in front of the one to the.
Right.
The
You're right.
Okay,
Yep.
so I will get in front of the one to the left,
Okay.
and I will do Blinding Smite
Ooh.
as a bonus action.
Okay.
The next time you hit a creature with melee weapon, 3d8 radiant damage.
Hmm.
So I'm going to
Does it
attack.
add the condition blinded as well then?
Well,
If it connects, I would assume. Maybe.
yeah, blinded until
Blinding.
the spell ends. Concentration up to a minute.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and
I
swing.
mean, can swords be blinded?
We'll find out.
Does 16 hit?
16 does hit.
Oof.
All right.
So 7 plus 7 plus 8 is 15 damages.
15 damages. It swings around to its point to you almost as if it doesn't have eyes to be blinded and realizes where you are still. So, no, it cannot
Okay.
be blinded. It's
Well,
immune to being blinded because it
I-
does not have eyes.
I assumed. I'll take my
Does
second swing.
does radiant damage matter? Is there-
Radiant damage does not matter.
Okay. That looks
So-
like a good hit.
Yep, 23 to hit.
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh, nice. Max dam. 10.
10 damages. 10 damages. Yeah.
And that'll be my turn. I'll prop my shield up and kind of bang it and like, come on, you fucker.
The whole room shifts. I need a dexterity saving throw from the three of you. Actually, Doug, I probably don't need one from you because, well, no, I do. Because we're in initiative and you'll have to use your reaction to do it now if you want to flap your wings and
Yep.
stay on your feet.
So I'm at 11.
15.
15's good.
Or wait, 19. I add plus 4.
I
Thank you.
would you
Oh, yeah,
say that
plus
I'm? Would you say that I'm more than 10 feet away from Doug? I think I might be.
Yeah.
It was a 12. It's either a 12 or a 16. Probably a 12 then.
12, yeah. You stumble and you fall onto your backside as this
Okay.
room shifted.
I had an 11. I would use my reaction to steady myself.
Okay. Sounds good. So you use your reaction with your wings to
Mm-hmm.
kind of pop yourself up in the air and set yourself down again.
They're like those little golf bag sticks. When you set the golf bag down, they.
Yep. I was just thinking you slide to the side and instead of like falling, you just go and get yourself off the ground and then just kind of settle down again as it
Yeah.
settles back into place. Is what
I
I,
mean,
was
that
thinking.
works-
But
that
I do
works
like
too.
the golf bag.
Yeah.
Seems like a party trick.
Uh-huh.
And that's
what I-
how we earned the name Tripod.
Yep. That's.
Absolutely. That blade turns faced right at you and did not like being hit by you in the way you did it. So it is swinging as it carves an arc through you. Oh shit, and crits.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the rules haven't changed yet.
Holy shit, really?
Ah!
Holy shit, really? Oh, God.
Did I just
Cool
get
when the DM
blasted
says
into
that.
oblivion?
I'm waiting for it to calculate the number.
Oh, that's stupid.
There's so many dice.
71 points of force damage.
Did you say 71?
71 points of force damage. You raise your shield up in that moment to block that, and it pushes you all the way against the back wall. And as you're soaring through the air, the mist, the frost on your shield leaves your shield, and with a supernatural speed surrounds your body to the back side of you and essentially creates a snow pile on your back that when you hit the back wall it goes boop, and the snow kind of soars everywhere and tinkles down to the ground, just softly laying upon you. You have 1 hit point.
Thanks, Aaron.
Oof. Wow.
Aaron's the best.
12d12 is no joke.
Got you.
Mhm.
On an 18 or higher on the die, it goes from 4d12 to 12d12.
It's
All
tough,
right,
man.
so
It's
no
super
messing
tough.
around then. All right, so Doug's behind me now.
Yeah, Doug's behind you now. The other living blade goes after Tika. And that is that is a hit with a 23.
Yep.
I would assume because she's less than
She's 18, I think.
32 points of force damage.
Oh, she's still up, but not by much.
That's the 40-12. You guys are realizing these things are tearing through you. That either the better idea may be to try and disable or just run. Something.
Yeah.
Jacob, it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna try to make a connection with that gem in the doors. And I am going to. I don't know if it's worth expending it, but just to make sure that it works, I'm gonna use my lightning bolt that I've been hanging on to. One-time shot, and I'm gonna aim it at that crystal.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to shatter that crystal. It looked like it was already kind of
Question for
something
you.
wrong with it. Yes.
Would you like to position yourself to catch one of these swords as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Can you tell I've never cast lightning bolt as a player before?
It is a straight line
Yes,
spell.
I would like to do that.
Just
So
seems something like
dexterity.
Jacob would understand to do that. And that's
Yeah. Dexterity saving throw for
for
the
the
sword.
sword. Which side did you want to go to?
I don't want to hit my friend, so I will go to the left side.
To the left side? Okay. Dexterity saving throw. 22. It'll take half.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll your damage.
Let's see, 8d6. Oh, that looks cool on screen. Let's hope they end up in a good. Oh, yeah.
12 looks pretty cool on screen too, I'll say.
All right,
Ooh.
so 29 for the door thing, and half would be 14 for the.
14 for the one by Tika. Okay. That one is bloodied, just so you're aware.
And then I will command Tika to attack, and
Okay.
I will move. I will use my movement to stand back up, and if I can get towards, I want to get closer to Doug to make sure he's okay.
Right.
Does
The lightning bolt rips through the sword. Like you see it actually hit the tip of it and arc out the back, the pommel of it, and up and jumps and hits that crystal. The crystal shatters, and that barrier that you noticed there before falls. It's no longer flickering. It is gone. There are doors there still that are kind of swinging open a little bit.
All right. Well, I unlocked the doors, maybe. And then for Tika's turn, Tika, I will have her continue to bite the same one.
Okay.
Wow, that didn't roll at all. Dirty 20.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice.
And a 3 and a 3 and a +3 is 9.
9 damages. That one really is not looking so hot.
And that's it for me.
All right. Crixus, this lightning bolt arced through and hit the crystal and shattered it above your head. You do notice the barrier fall on the door, and there is a way through with that you don't feel is threatening.
All right, so I'm gonna first channel divinity with my action,
Okay.
and heal up to half or 30 hit points, whatever is first, on Doug.
Okay. Doug, you get 30 hit points from a channel divinity.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna use a bonus action, and I'll cast Shield of Faith on myself to
Okay.
give myself 2 extra AC. And then I'm gonna navigate through the door if I can.
All right. So yeah, you give yourself the AC and you move through the door. They both get a swing at you. 14
Does not hit.
and a 15.
Does not hit.
You've taken both the reactions away from them, so they can no longer AO this round. It's important information, Norm.
Mm-hmm.
And you move 30 feet into the next room. You come face to face with a wall that has 8 doors on it. Each door is marked with a different arcane symbol overhead. And there is something etched in the wall in Draconic. And I don't think you're the one that speaks Draconic, but you recognize the writing at this point.
Yeah.
You would
All
assume,
right.
based on the markings, that they're probably the words that go along that like label the school of magic. What you would
Perfect.
probably assume.
Yeah, and as I look around, like I recognize some of those symbols as we saw them in that like chapel area. So, okay, and that's my turn.
Actually, I need a spell save, or I need a.
I don't know if I have dice for a spell save.
Hang on a second. I gotta figure out what the save is. I do need a save from you though.
Roll a d20 and make up a number.
I need a con save from you, Crixus, as you roll through.
Be cooler if it was a wisdom saving throw. Well, it's not ideal. It is a 2.
Okay.
That is not ideal.
So you step through. As you step through the doorway and you get into this room, you get into that just far enough to see the wall, and you are slowing down. Your body's not like you want to move, but you are freezing in place slowly and eventually come to a stop, and you can't move, and you're stuck there. Doug, you're on the far wall. Neither one of you saw exactly what happened. Doug, it is your turn.
All right, so I get 30 feet of movement, huh? Is that going to get me through the door?
You could
Does he-
double. Well,
Does he
maybe
need to stand up? Does he need to stand up first, or was he still upright?
you're gonna need to double move to get through.
He was upright.
I'm gonna say he's upright. I didn't say he was prone.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm gonna say, oh boy, I'm going to put my shield in front of me, yell Myron Bloodbeak, and charge through with my double move.
Perfect. You go right through the swords. The swords both swung at Crixus. As you pour through, you notice Crixus is kind of standing there ahead of you, kind of frozen in position like he was running. Looks a little weird.
I'm gonna can I free action and say, Crixus, now's not the time to pretend you're a mime.
Absolutely. The first sword is going to swing at Tika. That is a 23 to hit.
Yes. It doesn't matter. She had 7 hit points left, so
Yeah.
she's out.
It's going to be 32 damage.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Holy hell. It was poof.
All
That-
right. I'm more,
The other
I'm more
sword
than,
turns
Is that-
towards you, Jacob.
all right. I'm more than 10 feet, probably more like 15 feet away. So I don't know if it's gonna.
It moves up to you. 'Cause
Okay.
It has a fly speed of 30. So it glides over to you, and it's going to swing at you.
Sure. All my friends made him angry.
13?
No.
So
Good
it's
to
like, and it comes up aggressively. Like it turns itself sideways and is like flat, like it's going to slash, and it slashes. But it telegraphed that move too much, and you just see it. You're used to fighting people with swords. This isn't much different. And you see it telegraph that move, and you're like, oh, crap, okay. And it slices right over the top of your head as you wiggle your way out of the way. It is your turn.
All right. Did Doug make it past Crixus, or just to Crixus,
Two
or to?
Crixus. Two Crixus.
Okay. And he didn't. He didn't slow down.
Anything. Nope, he didn't slow down.
All right. Okay. Then I will. Let's see. I've got. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna. I'll take the dodge action. Or I'm sorry. Disengage. I will disengage, and I will 35 feet walking speed
All right.
to them. Or
You get to the other side of the door. You see on the floor as you go by, there's a tile that has like a magical essence around it that had been dispelled, or not dispelled, but expelled from it. There's like residual magic around this one tile.
can I bonus action close the doors,
Yeah,
or
sure.
is that?
Sure.
I would like
absolutely.
to close the doors behind me.
Okay. Swords lack opposable thumbs. So feel pretty safe.
Fair. That is
So
that
yeah,
is fair.
let's do that.
So you close the doors behind you. The room is silent. You walk up to Doug. We're out of initiative. You walk over to Doug, who's looking at Crixus, who is frozen in place. Crixus, need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Can I see with the detect magic if there's still a magic on him, or if he just got affected by something?
You can tell that there's a magic effect on him.
Okay.
Moving on.
There's a magic
up.
effect on him. I'll tell Doug.
6.
Dix.
You get
As you're observing him, you notice like I don't know if you watched Game of Thrones at all, but Shireen, the little girl that had like the stone scale face, like that is starting to creep up the side of Crixus's neck, like a pattern like that.
Well,
All right.
I would like.
I can detect magic. I can't do anything about that. I don't think.
Soft.
I can cast remove curse.
Probably wouldn't hurt. I'm
I
not sure if
cannot
it'll.
cast remove curse because those slots are shit. Those slots are already used. Oh, I have something that gets me slots back.
You can use a higher. You can always use a higher slot for
Mhm.
A lower level spell if you need to.
I mean, that would be cool if I had 4th level spells. That's a 3rd level.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Cool idea, bro. But
I have a way to get spells back.
You have a way to get spells back. Are you sorcerer?
I think it's during a rest though.
Oh, spell slots. Yeah, during the rest. Crixus doesn't seem to be going anywhere fast.
Shit. Nope. It's harness divine power. It says you can expend a use of your channel divinity to fuel your spells. As a bonus action, you touch your holy symbol, utter a prayer, and regain 1 expended spell slot, which can be no higher than level 2.
So yes, it would work. It's not the right level though.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Shit.
All right. Jacob's wearing gloves, so maybe he will. I'm gonna try to pull, and I'll say, Doug, can you help me? And I'll try to pull him through the area, just in case it's like an area of effect kind of thing, and try to get him just further away from that tile.
Yeah, and
That's the only thing I can do.
I would help you with that.
Okay, the two of you make a strength check, or one of you at advantage.
I have a -1.
Oh, well, I'll do it at advantage.
You are the beefcake. Beefcake.
Beefcake. I rolled a 1 and a 2, so 8.
Oh, that was a save.
Oh,
You
that was a
grab-
save. You're right.
Oh.
Ha.
Okay. Technicalities. Go ahead. Roll it. Strength check.
There we go. That's better. 19.
Okay.
Alright.
Crixus. And when you pull him, he doesn't move at all. It's like pulling a statue. But he slides along the floor. It's icy, and you're able to pull him along on his feet. Crixus, make a Constitution saving throw for me.
I recommend you make it this time.
9. Well, +4 is 13.
13. That stone condition creeps up over like half of his face. He stops breathing, like you notice the rise and fall of his chest.
Hard when the cleric gets hit with the curse. What do you do?
Yeah. Do we have any? All right. Is everything that he's carrying also changing?
No, just him.
He has. Okay. I'm gonna
He
look
has
through
a
his bag
potion of
for.
vitality.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna look in his bag for anything, a potion.
Okay. What's in your bag there, Crixus?
I have a potion of vitality, which removes any disease or poison affecting me.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that would hit the sweet spot.
I mean, I'm not a cleric, so I probably would try it.
Try it.
I
Yeah.
have the alchemy jug. I'm not sure if there's something in there. No, it's mostly unless we need mayonnaise.
Can I hellish
not
rebuke it away?
helpful.
I ate that too.
I'd be careful with Hellish Rebuke right now. You need to be damaged in order to get Hellish Rebuke him.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's probably more than it, or probably more expensive or more valuable than, and it's probably not going to work. But I would dump the potion of vitality in his
Vitality.
mouth.
In his mouth.
'Cause it's the only.
You dump the potion of vitality in his mouth. When you do so, the surface of his face that is like turning to stone kind of recedes, and that stone look recedes, but he's still stuck in place there.
Yeah. Anything else? You're a paladin, right? You got powers. You got things.
I sure do.
I'm just gonna keep digging through his.
Dump all my lay of hands into me.
What?
Your lay on hands would have been, but you don't have any hit points left. Would have
Yeah.
5 points of lay on hands could have removed something. I think I forget how that works specifically, but
To
he seems to
either
have
cure a disease or
stopped.
neutralize a poison.
Yeah, he's stopped turning to stone, at least, but he's not moving yet.
I am going to bless him.
Okay.
So that, let's see here, the target can roll a d4 and add the number of the roll to the attack roll or saving throw. So on top of my +4, I'm giving him, he'll also have a d4 to roll.
Okay.
If he has to make another one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he does. It's probably right about now, after you cast Bless. Constitution saving throw, Crixus. So you have plus your Constitution save +4 from him plus a d4.
17 +4 is 21.
There
Plus
is
a d4 if I need it.
You notice that his breathing has returned. He's still not moving, but he's breathing again, where he had stopped breathing as that stone started crossing his face.
That whatever you did worked. Can you do it again?
Is Crixus able to use a spell on himself at this point?
If it's non-verbal, non-somatic, and non-material,
It's a touch spell.
It's a touch spell. What components does it require? Because you can't move your arms, and you can't speak.
Good question.
Yeah, it probably requires
I do
some sort of
have
components.
remove curse.
Does it require
is
material
verbal.
component? It's verbal.
It's verbal and somatic.
Verbal and somatic. Oh, it's verbal and somatic. So no, you aren't gonna be able to. Like, you understand in this moment that you might be able to, but you need to use your hands. Like, it is an awful situation in your head right now because you realize something is fighting your body and you may lose this fight, but you know how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like being buried alive
Makes
almost.
sense.
Not pleasant. Doug, can you do that again?
It's a concentration spell. He didn't use it, so he can use it in his next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Jacob doesn't
Yeah,
understand what you did.
I don't know that.
So
Yeah.
you cast magic and went, it's working, keep doing it.
I will kind of put a hand on Jacob and say, "It will work in due time." Because I'm kind of waiting for the same thing. I'm waiting for it to kick in.
Right, Crixus, make another Constitution saving throw. You do have the bonus from standing next to Doug and still the
D4.
blessing from him.
Ooh, that's good.
21.
Another deep breath that you notice from him, and he almost vocalizes, almost like he's trying to say something, but it's just like a passage of air, like
Oil can.
kind of, except he can't even move to get the. It's more like.
I'm gonna get right in his face, and I'm gonna thunderclap his cheeks.
Go ahead and make an unarmed strike.
What's that, Crixus? Claudia's your sister?
Mm-hmm.
12? Does 12 hit him?
12? Yeah, he's an inanimate object right now. Yes. Let's go ahead and roll the damage for it, which is like 1.
Oh, it's 3.
Yeah.
I get
Unarmed strike. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, Crixus. You're beginning to wonder about the competency of the friends you were keeping.
What if he wakes up? Jake's gonna be all about Doug slapping people.
Exactly. It's like you did the magic and then you slap him. I need a Constitution saving throw, Crixus.
Waiting for the number to roll.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh.
It is 1.
So plus 4,
6.
plus
6
roll.
total. Did you roll the die too as well?
I'm not sure that it makes. I don't know.
Do you want
No,
to
I
use
mean, if I need a D4, I mean, it could be up to 10, but sure.
Roll the D4.
9 total?
9. In striking him and hitting him, the stone starts coming up over his face again to about the midpoint. His breathing stops. He's slowly turning to stone before you.
I don't think slapping him was the right idea.
As you sit there, it continues to go over your face, and Crixus stands before you, frozen in place, having been turned to stone. The potion bought you another roll, basically. You had the 3 failures, the potion
So
removed
it
one
was
of those.
disease,
and then you rolled 2
apparently.
successes. No, it's a magic effect. It's a transmutation effect.
Here's a question I can ask that you may or may not answer.
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to take a long rest so then
Here?
I can do remove curse?
Yeah, you could take a long rest here if you wanted to.
It might be. I don't know if it's too late for remove curse.
I
don't know what a long. I don't know. A long rest is a long time. Do you get anything back on a short short rest from being I think is your warlock spells only first level, or your warlock spell slots, or how does that? I don't know. I've never been a warlock.
That's all right. I am a warlock and I don't know. So I'm gonna start to take a long rest, but can I visually look around to see if there's anything that I can like shatter or break that maybe can fix this?
Looking before you, there are doors ahead of you. Each one of the doors, there's 8 of them, has a symbol above it representing a school of magic. And there's a etched inscription in Draconic below each one of the symbols.
Jacob, you can read Draconic, right?
Yeah, I'll read the Draconic.
The Draconic says, "Speak thy master's name and enter."
All of them say that? Or
Mhm.
there's just one?
That's what's below each one.
So who is the master of these schools of magic? Who is Crixus's master? Do we remember?
I mean, these were here before Crixus got here. Do we know? Did we get the name of the master of the tower? Or is there a master of the tower?
This tower?
Yeah.
Iriolarthus was his name, and I remember you guys did get it because I tried to pronounce it. I'm like, God, this is a mouthful. At one point, you did get this.
So, if each one says that, though, that's the question that I would wonder is there a specific master for each school? Or is it just speak like the master's name? And Doug, did you say you're looking like you're starting to take a long rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if I can... Yeah. Because I'm kind of at a loss. I mean, just out of hope, I would yell oral really loud.
And Jake, would you like...
some large object that hits the shield on the outside.
Jake could be like, I don't think now's the time for that, Doug.
Well, I'm yelling out masters or powerful people right now. I don't know.
Oh, you meant like that Ice Queen you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
No, I got it.
There is a terrible grinding sound, stone grinding sound, as the whole city shifts again. Stone on stone and rubble crumbling away, you hear. And the next large object shakes the entire tower and is louder than it has been. And the entire tower itself becomes unsteady and it's kind of wavering.
That's not good.
I don't know if you've ever been in a skyscraper on a windy day and the floor, it kind of moves. Yeah, a little bit like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Now.
I don't like that at all.
I don't know. I mean, Doug, Valeen's only been gone for, I mean, what, like maybe 10, 15 minutes? Maybe less. I don't know how long. I mean, most of our combats have been. Anyway, I mean, I don't think long rest is 8 hours. I don't know that anything's going to be left 8 hours from now. I think we either need to leave him behind, or I mean, I don't have any solutions.
I don't either.
If we're going to stop Veleen, then we got to do it now,
Yeah.
or abandon the city and just get out of here.
Technically, we could probably
Are
throw
there any
Crixus in the bag of holding now, right?
If he was in a different position, we might have to snap his arms off to get him in there now.
But no, I mean, we could kind of start at his arm and wrap it over, right?
It's gonna take a hell of a dexterity check to do. Like
We have 2 bags.
of a dexterity check to do.
What happens if we use 2 bags of holding, one on each arm, and go meet him in the middle? Is that bad?
Probably.
You take
Professor
half, I'll take the other half.
Professor would be very stunned to see.
Oh, shit. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to... This is going to sound bad. I'm going to whip the professor out of the bag.
Yeah.
Professor in the bag.
Speaking of which, you still have my bag.
It's about time you got me out of there. Oof.
We're in quite the bind here.
Oh,
He's
turned to stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we don't know what any of this shit means. Who are the masters of these doors?
Oh, well, it's High Abjur Taruth. Let's see, it was High Conjurer Damarith, High Diviner Apius, and the High Enchanter Ivira, I think was her name. Yeah, it's just the teachers at the school.
Oh, I'm gonna start repeating those names. I can't. There's no way in hell I can repeat it right now to you,
Yeah.
even though you just said it. But
Oh yeah, High Evoker Zadalus. He runs through the entire list. Do you say every one of them?
and I'll repeat it after he does, in hopes that the door's open.
When you go to the door, it's unlocked. After speaking the name, you turn the knob and the door swings open.
I'm gonna
And
peek through.
has a vortex of glowing stars that kind of hangs in the middle of this chamber, slowly rotating on its axis. The constellations move. They cast radiant starlight across the walls. There are 8 high-backed chairs in this room that seem to be bearing a different arcane symbol on each one of them. They all face this miasma of galaxy and stars that's rotating as the constellations move through here.
Is there like dust and debris on the floor where maybe there's footprints to see where maybe Veleen went?
Yeah, you could actually pick up Valeen's footprints through this room.
Okay, and which way, generally speaking, did she go? Left, right, or center, or?
She went straight through to. Oh well, let's see. Hang on. Whoop, 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 whoop. She went through to. That's that. Sorry. Oh, there's a really cool ass picture of this. I apologize.
I mean, we're still processing the potential loss of a friend, so take your time.
Yeah.
But, you know, in all due seriousness, I'm going to take anything valuable off of him that we might need.
Okay. Grab his bag and.
So bag of holding for sure. Anything else? I'm not going to take rations or any of that kind of stuff. Or weapons and armor don't seem like it makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. You following. Let's see, you grabbed Crixus's stuff and walked into the room looking for the footprints. Doug, you went into the room as well. Are you doing anything in that room?
The room that Crixus is in, or the vortex room?
The vortex room.
I'm just looking around. I'm still looking for stuff that might help Crixus. So any potions, any vials, any spells,
Okay.
anything.
The professor tells you that the spell was a transmutation spell. So you start finding the symbol of transmutation anywhere you can find it, look at it, and and you're frantically digging. Like, both of you are trying to process this, and like Doug is going in a panic mode, trying to find a solution and jabbering with the professor back and forth.
Doug, and I'll use Doug's magic help someone spell of slap face real quick, and I will slap him in his face. My strength is -1, so it doesn't matter if I hit or not. And I'll be like, Doug, Veleen.
You do.
Veleen's a wizard.
Solidly. It doesn't hurt really, but it's enough to...
His feathers cushion the blow. Veleen, she can probably fix Crixus. I don't know why she would want to, but she's here somewhere. That's the only thing we have. We got to find her.
One last question for the professor. Would the prayer of healing help him?
Prayer of healing? What's the prayer of healing? I'm not a very religious orb.
Up to 6 creatures of your choice.
I'm not a religious man myself, but he's an orb. So I'm not a very religious orb.
It's just a healing.
Yeah, it's a healing spell.
A bigger healing spell.
As far as I know, I mean, like, it couldn't hurt.
Just hit points.
It might not work. I mean, if he is stoned, it's
okay.
Healing stone does not put stone back together. As far as I know, I don't understand much of divine magic, but that much I do understand.
Okay, so what are your hit points at there, Genius?
I'm full.
Oh, you're full?
Yeah, I'm ready for battle. I've got everything that I, except for having Tika available, which it's almost.
All right, I'm gonna finally say fine. Let's go get her. And as we move, I'm going to drink my potion of healing. I'm gonna pull that out and drink potion of something wherever it is.
You drink potion of healing?
Potion of healing, a greater potion of healing.
Okay. Go ahead and drink your greater potion of healing.
Do you need oops. Do you need more hit points? I've got a couple of spells left. I do have a potion.
Greater potion of healing also. Might as well take it.
I would probably take his greater potion of healing as well then.
Yeah, I mean, if Veleen is reasonable, we might not need it, but if she's not, we either have to force her or take her down.
Because that using that other potion of healing puts me up to 56 of 83.
I was gonna say, did you add the bonus to it, whatever the greater gets?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's greater 4d4.
Yep, 4d4 plus
4. Okay. I have one regular potion of healing. I don't know if you. I mean, it's only 2d4 plus 2.
Nah.
It might be the last potion we have.
Yeah, save that just in case. In case I get down or whatever. If you go down, I have a spell that I can stabilize you.
Also, I think none of us said we took off our masks, so I think I still have my dragon mask on.
Oh yeah, Crixus is a statue that's pretty badass with like the fox god mask on.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm wearing a plague doctor mask.
Yikes. Shit's horrifying.
So follow the footprints.
Fine.
You follow the footprints forward. And it leads to the edge of this miasma, and you kind of look, and it looks like she may have just stepped right into it. Crixus. You've been standing there for what feels like forever. You feel a hand on your shoulder.
Sexy hand.
Hard to say. It's a gloved hand on your shoulder. And in the moment that you realize you feel a hand on your shoulder, you realize you're breathing.
Did we just leave him in the dust?
I mean, that. Was it a cold hand?
You turn around.
I look around.
Yeah, you can turn your head around. You turn your head around and see that this hand is attached to a body, a cloaked, heavily hooded body. You can see just the littlest bit of a feminine jawline underneath, and the hands reach up and pull the hood back. And Eliana looks at you and says, I knew you'd end up in trouble, old man. And we'll stop there.
Oh,
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh,
Fucking transcendent. All right, I like that.
Man.
And that's kind of, she's been trying to find you guys since the letter about Aaron. She just finally caught up to you.
Badass.
what?
Oh, that.
That's restoration on you. So
Does that mean the barriers now? Well, there's so many questions.
you are no longer petrified.
We,
Alright, well, I don't have a bag of holding anymore.
well, we definitely just robbed Crixus.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Looking at your stuff, probably the bag of holding was basically the only thing I took.
Yeah.
And I think we're still in the next room, give or take.
Well, we'll start.
The important
We're
thing
start
in the
with
bag
you
of-
guys, and whether or not you just like step through. You have no knowledge of what just happened with Crixus. But if you step into this miasma,
Wow. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this information.
Stew on it for a couple weeks.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
Badass.
do this and this and say that we are Two Nerds One Quest. We are here Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Most Sunday mornings. Summer is kind of rough, but we are coming to the end of that. And after next weekend, for the most part, I think we're probably going to be here most weekends. So
It'd be pretty golden because all the holidays are over and a lot of the summer trips are done.
yep.
Someone might be going to a Packers game here and again, but
Yeah.
Yep.
How
Yeah.
often do they play at noon on a Sunday though this year?
I don't know.
not that
That's a
much.
good question.
They're one of the better teams in the league. They don't get those games anymore.
The only one I can think of that we may not be here for is the London game, because that is like a 7:30 in the morning game.
Yeah.
So we may choose to watch football.
Maybe we'll have a live stream and we'll all watch the game together.
Oh,
I'd be
maybe.
into it.
That'd be kind of fun to group watch the Packer game.
We would have an impromptu Talking 1265 episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Join us. Twitch.tv/Tom M Norm, TOMMNORM. It is free to watch us live. Costs you nothing. And if you subscribe with your Twitch Prime subscription, that still costs you nothing and helps out the channel. So consider doing that. We would greatly appreciate it. Podcast drops for Patreon subscribers Sundays, usually around noonish. Podcast drops for the non-Patreon people The edited version with no pre and post show content drops Monday mornings. Get it wherever you get your podcast from. Rate us, review us, let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you're enjoying it. Just let us know. Go to bit.ly/OurFunDiscord to join our Discord. Talk to us whenever you want. Get free access to TBD. It's fun. You should.
A belching dragon.
Yes. On that note,
Wow.
for me,
I liked.
for Genius, for Crixus, Mr. Ghost, and DMJC.
Hello.
We'll catch you. Well, some guys may catch you next week. Otherwise, we'll catch you proper in 2 weeks.
Boomtown.
See ya.
Crixus is back, baby.
Yeah, suddenly Norm's going through this, and I said something, and everyone froze. I'm like, what the hell?
Internet dropped. Internet drops. All right, let's
Hey, there we go.
There he is.
Bang.
Oh, show titles. Show titles.
Showbot.
We like show titles.
Vote on show titles. If you're in chat, go to tommnorm.showbot.tv. The link I just put in chat here. Click on that. Vote on titles. Just click on the title to vote on it. I am going to go there now.
Holy titles.
Yeah, we have a lot of titles. There's a lot of titles this week. I'm going to read them out.
Voted for me.
We have Swords Lack
I voted
Opposable.
for.
What's that?
Oh, never
How
mind.
is it? Swords lack opposable thumbs. Can swords be blinded? Kiss my ice. Back to the sky. Initiate the pain. Between two swords. Tripod. Golf bag stick wings. Thanks, Aranon. 2. That is not ideal. Different oral. Strip the Crixus.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of swords that lack opposable thumbs.
It's funny.
Yeah, I personally liked the between two swords because that reminds me of Between Two Ferns.
Oh, yeah. That's good too.
Different oral. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that one made me chuckle too.
I was watching your faces to see when the joke was thoroughly caught. It was pretty entertaining. You can watch that on the playback.
If you're in chat, go vote. Go vote. I dare you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I dare you to vote.
I double dog dare you.
I triple
Ellie's
dog
back,
slight-
baby.
Slight breach of etiquette. But I'll be right back.
Yes, that I was not expecting that.
I'll tell you, there's two interesting things in the bag of holding. One of them isn't in my inventory. It's in my inventory notes. There is a vial of Aranon that we were able to recover, like put in a vial. So perhaps that should be given to Ellie. And outside of that, that obsidian steed hasn't been used yet, and that feels really badass.
Yeah, the Obsidian Steed is very underutilized right now.
It'd
Those,
be nice to summon a nightmare, wouldn't it?
I mean, it would.
Yeah.
Also, are the cookies still in there? Or did we decide those froze with Aranon?
I think we said the cookies froze. But there's an immovable rod that hasn't been used in a while either.
No. I mean, we
Fair
haven't
point.
been in a place to use it.
I mean, that would be a good place, right? Not to let Oral back. But nobody knows that Oral's coming except for Jacob.
And he doesn't know who she is.
She's just a.
Well, I
creepy
wonder if
looking-
no, Ellie wasn't along either. I was gonna say she wouldn't recognize Ellie.
No, nope.
Ellie might have passed her in the street. Wait, how did Ellie get in the tower?
That's what I said. The barrier must be down. It's a very interesting scenario right now.
My
So
guess
I'll
is the
have to let
barrier's
John
down. Like once the
flesh that out.
yeah,
I mean,
once,
if the tower's kind of woozy.
yeah, maybe there's a
Could
crack
be
in
cracks and
yeah.
holes everywhere.
Hmm.
the cracks and
But-
holes. That's the show title.
I'm not going to be able to spend too much time here. We got to eat breakfast and then head back towards the kinder, gentler Wisconsin.
What time you taking off?
Yeah.
Or how long
About
is the
noon.
drive? How long is the drive? I should
Watch.
say?
It's about 5.5 hours after we stop once. So
That's not
Say
terrible.
watch the weather and stay behind the storms if you can.
yeah, it's tough because all the storms are going the same direction we're going to be going.
Oh.
So,
Yeah. Kind of ride with them.
but we'll see. But yeah, so you guys have a fantastic Sunday, and I'll see you next week. Except for you, Tom.
Yeah, we'll do something next week. I don't know what it'll be. I'll get my shit straight. Maybe
Oh.
we'll get out.
I'm going to share some links with you, John, to put as browser locations in
Okay.
in OBS.
Okay.
Because all of my backgrounds are being pulled from Stream Elements, so all I have to do is give you the link, and
Okay.
then you'll have access to all of these backgrounds.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'll
Yep,
have to figure out
it's-
how that works specifically.
It's literally
Cool.
a
I gotta jump off, guys. Thanks a
Yep.
lot. Have a good
All
night.
right.
Pooch.
See ya.
it's a browser. Let me see here, because this is good. It's called, when you right click and you add something, it's just browser, and when you click
Okay.
browser, it asks for a URL.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll give you those URLs, and then you can set up different scenes. And then, like, I have so I have 2, 4, 6 scenes. I have a timer, an opening sequence, 3-person setup, 4-person setup, just chatting, which is something I did with just Kukta and I, and then a closer.
Okay.
The closer and the timer are the same thing. It's the, Two Nerds One Quest with all of our Twitter stuff.
Yep.
So I'll give you that. And then like the 3-person setup and then the 4-person setup is the cutouts. So the cutouts are already there.
Yep.
So
I just got to position the cameras behind them.
Yep.
Nice.
So the higher up in the list for sources, the higher up in the list is where the overlay is. So the source is first, and
So
then
the-
you put all of our cameras underneath it. And
Yeah.
then that's
So the top level is the front facing.
Yep.
Level, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So I want that the last thing should be that overlay.
that should be the very top.
I mean, that should be the very top thing.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter for audio sources because audio is audio. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. I will.
And actually,
I
I'll
will
take
get it done.
I'll take a picture of it right now, and I'll
Oh,
send
yeah.
you that
Shit.
picture
That'd be good.
just so that you see what I'm talking about.
When this campaign is over, I am fully intending on implementing D&D rules. FYI.
Okay, so we'll have to.
There,
Do
there's
some-
not. There are some of them where I'm kind of like, I don't like the automatic success on tests, but skill checks, ability rolls, and attack rolls are all called tests. Like
I'll
as a
say
whole, they're called a test.
the test thing, the automatic success on tests is, I think in this group it's fine because we wait until you say roll. I know that there's one of the things I've seen as a complaint is where someone's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then they roll a nat 20, and they're like, obviously it succeeded, and you're like, it wasn't even going to be a test because it was impossible, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And then all of a
exactly.
sudden they succeed on something they weren't even supposed to try for, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's
The thing I don't like about that, and why I probably won't implement it, and probably keep it as the roll plus your modifier, is that puts me in a position where I look at you and I say, no, you can't do that.
hmm
I like the idea of you always being able to roll and at least think you have a chance to do it.
Hmm.
So it's but there are situations like you said where you're seducing a woman. Well, what if she's gay?
Right.
There's absolutely no way a male is going to seduce her.
Hmm.
This is the thing that sticks out in my mind. So then suddenly you got the bard that's going to go up and seduce this woman. There's no way she'd fall
Or-
for.
Yeah, or seducing a dragon, or
Yeah.
seducing a lich, or whatever, and like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess
Seducing a tree.
you're the big bad is my new girlfriend.
I don't like situations where a DM has to say no. And that is a rule set that seems to put that in my mind, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So
Because I mean, you can, as a bard in your example, you can try, but the funny aspect of it is if you roll a 1, that makes it even worse. Versus,
Mhm.
rolling a 20, you're like, well, you're very smooth, and she just, plays it off. It's very, very different
Right.
reactions based on the dice roll.
well,
The whole
exactly.
seducing a tree and rolling a natural 1. Oh, you didn't realize the giant's wasp's nest that was in the tree, and you knocked it on your head.
Yeah.
The natural 1 is funny.
Say seducing the gay bartender. Bard goes in to do that. Just say that. There's no way he's going to bed her. There's no way that'll happen. But he can go forward, and if he rolls a 20, information. There could be a very favorable information given. Rolls a 2, it could actually backfire, and you could get kicked out of the bar.
He tries to sing and pukes all over.
Yeah, so
Or-
it's
A natural 20 gets not the bartender, but the bartender says, "Have you met my friend?"
yeah, exactly.
Have you met Ted?
So the I do, however, like the no crits for DMs, and then the crits for players are only on weapons, and it's only the weapon dice that double. I do like that. As someone that
Mhm.
sat through Dave and Rick blowing 120 point damage rounds in the
Mhm.
first round of combat, it's like, fuck off. And
Yeah.
it's just, I think it's to tone down the combat to be not to be
Right.
the excitement of the combat will not be in the quantity of damage, but the quality of the encounter.
Right. I mean, you think
Which
does a spell really
makes-
have the ability to do twice as much damage as it was intended to? In a normal
Yeah.
situation, no. I mean,
Nope.
yes, a fireball could hit a barrel of oil, but only if the barrel of oil is present, and that's different damage. That's not the fireball then at that point. So,
But it's the
like-
difference between the fireball to the face and the fireball to the chest if you're wearing metal armor.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and even
So-
just like with the example today,
crazy
where
sneak attack.
you critted on me and you dealt me 71 points of damage.
yeah, exactly. I've had a couple of back pocket safety measures for a while. Ellie being one and Aranon being the other, which is ironic that it's the two of
Yeah.
them that started the whole adventure
Uh-huh.
that are
And,
the safety switches, and they both
Yeah,
came back
and honestly, my next turn I was going to shoot the crystal out with an arrow, but then once people were getting hit that hard, I'm like, nope, I'm going straight lightning bolt. I got to one shot this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to do that anyway, and it was like, yeah, this is not a fight we want to keep fighting.
Both
So
of those.
I used up
the-
my lightning bolt.
really like the book ending of those two characters, like here at the end of all things, are having been the two that started it, both of them showing back. Like, I had Ellie on standby if the fight with the barrier did not go well. She may have shown up there.
Uh-huh.
But you
Oh,
guys
I
didn't. You were fucking crazy. You didn't need her. I'm like, fuck, okay, go on with your bad self. She's still looking for you.
yeah, Jacob doesn't know it, but he needs Ellie, I think.
Yeah.
Unless they
Right.
find a way to get him home. Ellie can get him home, I think.
Possibly.
If she's leveled up the same as we have, or at least some.
Some.
Because I don't think Crix is going to take any more cleric levels. If he keeps taking bard levels, then he's not going to get banishment.
Yeah.
So
What's
She may need to
banishment?
do some. It's a spell that will send someone to an alternate plane, if they are not from this plane and they are sent to their home plane, if they stay there for, what is it, an hour? Or
A minute.
full
It's
minute.
the full
If they
minute.
If they stay on
there.
their home plane for the entirety of the duration of the spell, they'll stay there.
Oh.
So,
And Crixus is like 1 level or 2 levels short of that, and it doesn't sound like he's going to take any more levels in it. So, again, Jacob doesn't know this, and Ellie wouldn't know this necessarily.
no.
But
No, it'd be a conversation. Conversation for them to have, for sure. But yeah, it'll be real interesting because Crixus is the only one she really knows. I mean, she knows Jacob a bit, but she has no fucking clue who Doug is.
True.
So,
Very true.
Because did Aranon ever mention Doug at all?
No.
I'm trying to remember if he did. I don't think he did.
Nope. Doug became, when I had to create a second character, that is when Doug came into existence. Like, so my backstory was, my backstory
included
had,
him.
yeah, it included him. There was no name attached to it though. It was just Aranon was with a friend. The friend got captured. Aranon.
yeah,
Did Aranon ever mention that story though? I thought he did at some point, but I don't know if Ellie was around.
right. I don't know if that was just a Tom telling the story or if that was an Aranon telling the
Yeah.
story.
Shit.
Because we did that recap episode where it was like, I think I asked for backstories and things, and I don't know if it came out there or if it came out actually in game.
I think it was the recap show. So really, technically, nobody knows necessarily.
Yeah.
Now Doug has shared some things, but
not with Ellie.
not with Ellie, because Doug hasn't met Ellie.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm gonna see who's on to raid. J.K. Grammar is on, so we'll raid him. He actually popped in. He popped in chat. He's lurking. I don't know if he's still listening to us or not, but
Nice.
he is playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Nice.
So we're gonna raid him. But yeah, he popped in
All right,
tonight,
well.
which I thought was cool.
Cool.
Raid.
Well, at least we got 2 weeks to think about what we want to do here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, JC, see what you want to do for next week. Another 1-pager Snooker and Yon adventure.
Yeah.
But you kind of got the TBD thing
Yeah.
going
Dungeons
on.
and Dragons, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for popping in. Thanks for voting on show titles if you did. Just thanks for being here. Appreciate the support. And
Did we have a winner?
yep, we have
A winner title?
Yep, Swords Lack Opposable Thumbs.
Hells yeah.
Such a ridiculous title.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It really is.
It's so beautiful.
So go and enjoy J.K. Grammar playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Catch y'all later.
Bye, everybody.
Cool. Well, I need to get going as well. So I will
Alright.
catch you nerds on the flip side. Actually, I gotta
For
start
sure.
this.